Alright guys, I'm going to give you guys some help on your Pythagorean theorem homework. So again, I'm on page 23 in your Unit 5 book. We're going to practice doing 2, 3, and 4, so at least get you started with those questions. Okay. Alright, so looking down at number 2, if we read number 2, some of you guys are going to get tripped up by some of the vocabulary. So one of the first couple words that are in here, if two legs of an isosceles right triangle. Okay, so this is our key word right here, an isosceles, which means that it has two equal sides. So when I go to draw my picture, the sides that they're actually talking about are when they say this word here, which is the word legs. So they're talking about your A, and they're talking about your B when they say the words legs. So these both measurements would be 7 with the idea of the Pythagorean theorem. Okay. Alright, so moving forward there, it says which of the following represents the length of the hypotenuse. They're referring to side C, and again the two legs were referring to side A and side B. So they're asking you, what is the length of this? So as you're plugging this in, a squared plus b squared equals c squared should be a good enough start to get you going. Okay. Do recognize at the end when you go to take the square root of the number that none of these are in decimal format, so you're going to need the idea of the perfect squares for this. So again, your perfect squares are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, okay, so those are your perfect squares, so you're going to need them at this case once you get to here. So this should be a good enough start for you guys. Okay, alright, so down to number 3, the one at the bottom. Get you guys started on this homework. It's a right triangle, has a hypotenuse, so here's that keyword, right triangle. So again, I'm going to draw a triangle to help myself. There's my right triangle. Okay, who has a hypotenuse, which again when they say hypotenuse they're referring to side C, whose length is 26. So this side right here is 26, and again it's your side that's across from the right angle. That's 26. And a leg whose length is 10 inches. So when they refer to the leg, they're talking about either the A or the B. So I'm going to call that one my A. I'm going to say, hey, you want to know what? I know what A is. Now I need to figure out what B is. So this one's just slightly different. I'm still going to use the Pythagorean theorem, and I know to use it because it's a right triangle. That's when I'm able to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because we're talking about the side measurements. So when I plug this in, I get 10 squared plus b squared equals 26 squared. Okay. Right. So from here you just have to be careful because you're not really going to add these two. You're going to end up subtracting those two values. So just in case you don't have a calculator handy, I am going to do this one. It gives you 676. Okay, so we wind up with 100 plus b squared equals 676. And from there, hopefully you're able to find B. It does ask you which of the following is the area. Okay, so the area formula, once you find out what B is, okay, is going to be the idea of the area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 the base times your height, which your B is already there, and then you're figuring out your H right there. Okay. So once you figure out your B, you can plug it in and do 1/2, or 1 divided by 2, times your B value, times your H value, and then get your answer from there. So I'm going to leave that one there for you guys to finish. And make sure you're finishing it. I'll be collecting it. And then moving over to here for number 4. Okay. Obviously we can see what we're looking at is a right triangle, but don't always assume what the question is asking you for. Okay, it says a 20-foot ladder, as you read it, is leaned against a building that is 8 feet tall. Okay, if the ladder is going to be, it'll be unstable if it's more than 15 feet. They want to know, will this ladder be unstable or will it be stable? So we would actually have to run through the Pythagorean theorem. Obviously we're missing the A. And we would run through this. So here's your B, and then here's your C. So plug these in. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Plug those numbers in. Okay, you're eventually going to get down to the fact of, is your ladder going to be stable or is it not going to be stable? So again, if you read your question, the ladder will be unstable if its base is more than 15 feet from the bottom of the building. So if this number is more than 15, then the ladder is not going to be stable. So plug in your numbers and tell me what you get for A. And again, at this point, you will have to round it to an approximately a number. Okay, try to the nearest tenth if you need to. Okay, but as far as that, I'm going to leave the homework there for you guys to attempt, and then we'll go from there if you need to in class.